Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This is about reopening your pool. I'm Sara Kooperman. I'm the CEO of SCW Fitness. I'm here in a hotel room in Denver, Colorado, where one of my sons is in school and the other one just moved here to get a new job. Yay. Got a new job, supporting himself. You always love to hear that about your children. I have wonderful people. Peter and Ellie are helping with the webinar tonight. So if you have questions, I want you to please put it in the chat box if you would. Hello, Cheryl Charnas. Nice to see you. If you would, please move your mouse and you can see the green share screen button. Please click on it. And if you would, I would like you to please type in your name, where you're from. Love to hear that stuff. Love to see, where everybody is from. That would be great. And if you have a question, if you have a comment, hello, Sue from Austin, Texas. If you have a comment, if you have a question about of anything, please do me a favor, put it in the chat box. I promise I will get to you. We've silenced you all and we're turning off your video just to make sure that we have as high a resolution and as best a contact with all of you during the webinar. So we have 45 minutes, which is not a long time when you get going. I created a really nice PowerPoint for all of you. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you the PowerPoint. We're going to put it in a PDF. Peter is on the call right now. Peter has received the PowerPoint. He's going to put it up in a PDF with 6 up on a page, right, Peter? Yes? Okay. And we will attach it to the recording that we will be pushing out tomorrow, probably in the late afternoon. We also have a full article that is, I think it's 6 or 7 full pages with 28 points on what you can do to make sure that you're reopening your pool, and you get some great advice on this. So thank you all for joining me. I see a lot of people are still joining at the last minute. People from Atlanta, people from all over the country. I even saw somebody from Canada. That's awesome. That's very, very cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my PowerPoint right now with you guys, and I'm going to get going. And again, if you have any comments, if you have anything that you want to go in the chat box, please do me a favor and make sure that you do it. That you put it in there, and I will get to it and I will answer it. I promise. So I just want to make sure, can you all see my PowerPoint? Yes, I assume you can. That's great. So what I'd like you to do is, if you notice the web addresses, it's scwfit.com or it's WATERinMOTION.com. And we do have the article on both of those sites. So what I'm going to do is, just to refresh your memory, a lot of you people have been coming to our MANIA conventions. We always have 7 conventions a year. We're in Washington, D.C., California, Florida, Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, and Boston. And we have 2 live stream MANIA conferences planned, one for November and one for February. You can see the dates down here in the lower corner, November 6th through 8th and February 26th through 28th. We have put everything on our site that is scwfit.com/online. And with the online, you can see everything about our live stream MANIA. You can also see our live streaming certifications, our online certifications, the webinar registrations, etc. Everything is up there. We have 35 different certifications. I think we have 3, and we might even have 4 aquatic certification. We have our general Aqua fundamentals, we have Aqua bar, we have WATERinMOTION, and I think at some point we're looking at starting an active aging water certification. We also have on our OnDemand program, we have almost 100 videos, which is kind of cool. So be sure to look at our on-demand site. We also offer CEC, continuing education credits for people. And we took of those 500 or 600 on-demand videos that we've had, we made them into CEC programs where it's really kind of cool. You watch the video, you get a downloadable PowerPoint, sometimes an article, it's an automated exam. And then of course you get, I love it, so technologically cool, you get that automatic certificate of completion with your continuing education credits that are from ACE and AFA and NASM and of course AEA. So it's something to think about. We do have our Water in Motion program, and that's actually the foundation of what I'm talking to you about. We have over 200 clubs and 400 certified instructors in Water in Motion. So I think that it's really kind of interesting. I want to help you get your pools open as quickly as possible. And that's the focus of this. We have 3 different Water in Motion programs, Original, Platinum, and we also have our brand new Strength video. In 2020, we're in a very, very difficult situation. Clients are very afraid. They're all diverse. There's these people out there that we will not comply. I'm sitting here, I've flown to Denver. I didn't take off my mask at all. Freedom over fear. It's weird out there. People want to do what they want to do. And so ultimately, if it's not mandated by the government, it's your choice whether or not you want to require people to wear masks. So this is something that we need to think about as fitness professionals, when it's very different than group exercise professionals, very different than personal trainers. As aquatic professionals, we really have more to worry about. A lot of times we don't have lifeguards, we don't have a director that's accessible, we don't have anyone else walking around. We are by ourselves. It is our pool. We own the pool. And if these people are not complying and they're talking to each other without masks on and things like that, and your gym has special regulations on how to monitor, masking, you've got to be careful. You've got to monitor that social distancing, and you're the boss. So to comply with the law, this gives us a lot of responsibility that normally we don't have. But I think it's extremely important. I'm going to move my little video here so you guys can see it. I think it's extremely important that we remember that our pools are safe places for us to work out. We all know this, older adults, beginning, rehab, etc. I think you all realize that according to the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control, according to the CDC, pool chemicals, chlorine, bromine, they provide 6 times the strength needed to kill the coronavirus. Okay? It is possibly the safest and most sanitary environment for people to work out in. It's like working out in a bastion of bleach. All right. You've seen what happens to your hair. You've seen what happens to your bathing suits. It's a very safe environment. And pools are also extremely, extremely valuable, a valuable commodity, because they cost us a lot of money. It's our most expensive place because we've got rent, we've got mortgage, we've got chlorine and bromine, we've got all these repairs we have to do, staffing, lifeguards, instructors. We have a lot of maintenance and investment in tiles, cement, heating systems, air cooling systems, insurance, locker rooms. It's very expensive. So if you want to, a lot of us are instructors. We're not the owners. We're not the managers. We don't make the decisions about what classes to put on the schedule or what programs to open up or what rooms to make accessible. But if you want to make your case, you need to talk to the owners and the directors and the managers and the Aqua department leaders and tell them it's important for them and financially advantageous for them to get their pools open. Now, the first thing I recommend you guys do is connect with your clients. A lot of us have their phone numbers, have their email addresses. We've already been, we're already friends with them on Facebook. We've got their Instagram handles. possibly. The more you can put up on Facebook, the more you can put up on Instagram, the more you can get connected with people, the better. And your clubs should think about doing a newsletter. Newsletters actually, according to the New York Times, had a wonderful article in the New York Times. It was actually on the front page about newsletters being more widely read now than others. Possibly it's because people have people have more time on their hands and they're able to read, but it's also that it's directed. It's not spam. It's something you possibly registered for. So people are looking at this. If you've got mailing addresses on people, I highly recommend you do handwritten notes. If you've got their cell phone numbers, I'd love you to do some text messaging like we did to send you confirmations to make sure that you're on this this recording or you're on this webinar. Actually, it's not recording. It's very, very live. The social media, when you think about posting, you want to make sure you post your schedule of your classes on social media at the same time every week. I might recommend you do it Sunday night. I might also do it probably Thursday evening. So you get them making sure that they're used to when you're going to release the schedule for the week. And you can think about making sure it's a positive message, it's a beautiful message. And if you want to engage with more and more clients, I suggest that you really look at making sure that you know who your clients are, but also ask them questions. Figure out ways you can get them to engage and be involved with you. And then if you are the owners and the managers, connect with your staff. You really need to make sure that you get them engaged, because you guys, you're going to open your facilities. If you're not open yet, Florida, Indiana are wide open, but if you're not open yet, you're going to be open soon and you're going to need your instructors. That's going to be very important. We want to think it when you're doing these connections, think about having an Excel chart with information that you want to talk about so you can fire through your topics quickly. Always, I ask for nightly reports from my staff so that we know what you've been doing every night. And then you've also got a to-do list of what you're going to do for the next day. Now that would be more for the managers and the directors, but even instructors can think of what have I got to do? What am I going to improve in? And you can share information by putting it on a Google Docs. Now, as managers and directors, what I want you to think about is you've got some responsibilities here because job descriptions have changed for people. And this is important to pay attention to. We might want to look at our employee handbooks. We might look at memos and manuals and handbooks and just make sure that we've got our systems and our schedules intact. And that these added responsibilities, which might mean that what you need to do is you might need to get to class, not just 15 minutes before class, but you probably, and I would highly recommend you get to class a half an hour early because you've got more to set up now in your pool. And we will talk about that. So think about your systems, think about your responsibility. And as a group fitness instructor, if your manager, if your director is not reaching out to you and telling you what's going on, when are classes going to open, what am I going to be teaching, what are my responsibilities, reach out to them. But please do it very patiently, do it very kindly, because we're in such a stressful situation. And I have to tell you, the dictates, the information coming down from the CDC, the information and requirements coming down from the government are changing daily. Daily, they're making new discoveries. Remember when we had to wipe off absolutely everything? And then I remember seeing, oh my God, it can be transmitted through touch. Well, now they think it's not as much transmitted through touch. COVID is more a respiratory disease. Well, remember that one time when someone said masks were unsafe because it actually increases the spread. Well, now they know that that's not the case, but they talk about different levels of masks we should be wearing. We need to just stay on top of stuff. So what I want you to think about is the first thing we need to do is we need to look at what we need to order. So our managers and our directors need to think about this, but I also want you guys to think of it at home. Okay, You need to think about, I have a little portable hand sanitizer. I used it. I wiped off my airplane area. When I got off the airplane, we got into the rental car. I wiped off the rental car. Okay, I'm a little freaky, and then I got to this hotel room, which is very pretty, and I wiped off everything in the hotel room. So I keep my little portable sanitizer. I'm not a big hand sanitizer person because I feel like, I don't know, it's icky for me, but I like my wipes. I like my wipes. Now, you want to think about what masks you're going to use. You want to think about pens, and you might want to get branded pens, and I'll tell you why later on in the webinar. Think about face shields. I'll show you pictures of those for the trainers. Think about buying windscreens, gloves, name tags. Are you going to have photos on your name tags? You're going to have titles on your name tags. I highly, highly recommend you do a name tag with a photo. You know why? You're not going to be able to see anybody in the club. They're all going to be wearing a mask, and especially the teachers. And think about the benches by the pool, because they're going to have to take off their shoes, possibly their cover up, and they're going to be taking off their mask and laying it down on something or hanging it up. So you might want to think about, where are my benches? You might even want to purchase command hooks. You know, those little plastic command hooks you put up in your bathroom to hang up towels and things like that. They do not damage your wall. They damage nothing. We use them all the time at hotels. We use them on plaster. We use them on wallpaper. We use them on tile. They stick and they stay. And then when you pull them off, they make absolutely no marks. It's a wonderful thing to do. And you might also want to think about uniforms. And again, thinking about uniforms, it's important to do that because you won't be able to recognize the instructors or the staff at the club. You might have to wear a matching t-shirt or a tank or something when you're teaching or when you're walking around the facility. And I want you to think about the ventilation system. Now, again, this is something we don't really have that much control over, but a lot of clubs are putting in brand new ventilation systems like they have in cigar bars, which pull up the poor air, recirculates it, cleans it, and sends it down. Think about opening windows. Think about all, any way you can get air circulation. And I want you to close your hot tubs, close your saunas, and close your steam rooms. My suggestion in that is, until we get this COVID under control, the cleaning you're going to have to do, the monitoring you're going to have to do. The social distancing requirements, very difficult to maintain. So pay attention to that. Now, the CDC requires physical distancing. They recommend 6 feet. I might even say you might want to think about 8 feet, because we're going to be moving laterally. We might be moving linearly as well. You can partition off equipment. You can rent out some of your equipment. Sounds kind of crazy, but your noodles, your Aqua dumbbells, your kickboards, especially if you're in a warm climate like Florida, Atlanta, and maybe they're still using their pools, which would really be great. You can think about also, how are you going to partition things up? I don't like the police, the crime scene tape. That makes me a little bit nervous. So that's not my favorite. But think about covering things up, and think about plastic covers. I was at a pool and they actually took a big plastic screen, put it on a little stand, and the instructor literally stood behind it. Now, I think that is a little extreme if you ask me, but I thought at least they're thinking about it. They put the screens in front of the front desk check-in. They did a lot of wonderful things. I want you to think about how you're going to greet your students, okay? Staff and members, but also instructors to students. We're so used to hugging our people. We are a contact sport, okay? Especially in aquatics. When you go into a locker room, you get half naked with people. You go and you exercise, you come back out, you're taking your clothes off, you're getting naked, you have a lot of time to chat with people, plus you're wet and naked. I mean, you just get to know people better. I want you to think about your contact. Are you going to do elbow bumping? Are you going to be just waving at people? And some people are going to be hugging. Some people are going to be kissing because they just feel so comfortable with their friends. And we got to train each other. How are we going to resolve any type of conflict that may arise? Meaning, you may not care. I don't care if someone hugs somebody else. I'm not doing the hugging. Go ahead and do it. But somebody else may whisper over to you as the instructor, you're not supporting the rules. They're not socially distancing. They're not, she's wearing her mask underneath her nose. You know, you got to think, because these issues of freedom and protocol will arise. Now, the club is responsible for making sure that there is a reservation system, but a lot of us as instructors may want to start teaching at a hotel pool, start teaching at the junior high, start teaching somewhere, because our students miss us so horribly. So how are we going to limit our class size? So what I recommend you do is, you know, one of those big red tape measures that pulls out with the yellow tape all the way out. You measure your pool, measure the length, measure the width. Don't measure the depth. You definitely have to dive in and get your hair wet. So you're going to do the length, you're going to do the width, and then what you do is you multiply that, and then you divide by 36, because that's 6 by 6 by 6, 36 square feet per person. And that's how you figure out how many people you can fit in your pool. And then you also want to add a little extra pool time, like schedule the class to be an hour and 15 minutes. I actually would schedule the class to be an hour. And then what I would do is I would make my workout only 45 or 50 minutes, because it's going to take you longer to get in. So what I'm going to try to do if I have a reservation policy is set my reservation number, how many people can register, look at my cancellation policy. You can send reminder notifications. There's a lot of systems out there that will do that. You can also send confirmations, which is also wonderful. You can have a walk-in system. You've got to figure out, how do I handle walk-ins? What's going to be my approach? Whatever you decide, I recommend that you think about it and you set it now, because it's important to do that. And then you want to look at the capacity. What's the governmental requirement? Now, a lot of states like Illinois, it's only 10% or 10 people are allowed in a group X class. And I'm assuming aquatics fits under that umbrella, but you've got to check on that. And Florida and Indiana are totally open, and a lot of states are just at 10%. I would just check space capacity, confirm things with the city. I would also modify the layout of my equipment and my pool, because we're going to have to do things like putting markers on the floor and things like that. But if you're going to start thinking about letting people in, this is a little broad overview, but I'm going to go through it quickly, because I don't think a lot of us are going to be responsible for this aspect of letting people in our pool. The best thing to do is set up an app, set up some type of questionnaire where they can answer the question online when they're standing in line. Have you been in close contact with someone with a confirmed case of COVID? Are you experiencing cough or shortness of breath or sore throat? Have you had a fever in the last 48 hours? Have you had new loss of taste or smell? Have you had vomiting or diarrhea in the last 24 hours? Those are the questions the CDC asks. And so a lot of clubs, what they've been doing is having people answer it as they're waiting in line. Now, I don't particularly love this photo because they're not exactly social distancing, but at least one guy's got a mask on. Okay, it's a bandana, but they're trying to stand and they're trying to get the apps answered before they enter. And then if you want to do the temperature screening, it's not the most accurate way, but these no-touch thermometers are very inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon for like 50 bucks. And it makes people feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, the requirements for the staff, I want you to look at these. SCW made these adorable masks. So if you want to put that in the chat box, Peter, that would be great. Those adorable masks for strong as a mother, you know, they're so cute, you know, eat clean, train dirty. They're really cute, but masks are adorable, good, really good things to do. Think about your mask as a teacher. Now, when you're teaching, you are going to be, because they're in the water and you are on deck, I'm assuming you're going to stay on deck. You're going to be teaching. You can take off your mask because you're 6 feet away from them. But if you're teaching and you're spitting it all, it's going to go right on top of them. So I highly recommend that you wear a face shield. I really recommend that. So take a look at that face shield right here. This is a wonderful thing to wear. I also think you should definitely wear a name tag, not just the logo of your facility. This is from my dear friend Ann Gilbert. I would also put your photo, somehow put a photo. I don't even care if you go to Walgreens or CVS or something and get an old passport photo, or take a photo of yourself on your own phone, email it to yourself, print it out, cut it out, and put it on so people recognize you because you're walking around with a mask. The other thing, you guys get some personal windscreens. Make sure you have your own windscreen. If I were a club owner, I would supply them to my staff. But if I were you, I would keep my windscreen. I'd keep a couple of them in my bag wherever I went. These are very important to do and something to think about. Timing for sessions and closures. What I want you to think about is, I think it's a wonderful idea to do an early morning class that's only for the 60 plus. It'll give them a little bit more security. It's kind of like the grocery stores being open from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. only for older adults. Okay, maybe something in the mid-afternoon as well. And closing the common areas, which means like water fountains, break rooms, self-service food, drink machines. It's just because wherever people are hanging around, they're not 6 foot social distancing. You want to think about that. The worst thing that could happen, the worst thing that could happen is an outbreak of COVID at your club or in your Aqua class. Because if there's an outbreak, they ain't ever going to be coming back, or at least they're not going to come back until the vaccine has been created and has been disseminated. So you want to think about that. I think what you should also think about is telling your people the good messages. Tell the people that exercise is medicine, that fitness builds immunity. Pass that information along to them and make sure they understand it, and make sure that you yourself as the leader are setting the example and using the protocol. Now, if you're going to transition, a lot of us started back, oh my gosh, I want to say in March and April, we started doing all our classes free online, and maybe not Aqua classes because not everybody has a pool at home. And what are you going to do? Work out in your bathtub? But maybe we were teaching a Pilates class or a yoga class or a chair workout or something else. We then had to think about transitioning to get payment because we thought everything was going to be up by Easter. At least that's the information we were told. So, okay, well, it's not Easter. It's like April now. It's getting into May. What am I going to do? You need to make an income. So you need to make sure that your students understand the value. And our pools have been closed, a lot of them this whole time. Remind them why you love your pool. Set a schedule for the classes and make sure they get those scheduled. Watch for local governors' postings on when things are going to open. Let your clients know the schedule and try not to scare them away. They're so used to classes being free that if you just immediately open up, oh, we're charging $20 a class or we're charging $5 a class. As soon as they see that's payment, it makes them think twice. So give them a little bit warning. We're going to be thinking about doing that. It's important here. Remind them why they should come back. The physical, our pool is clean. We've got great locker room facilities. You'll be able to see your friends and the other members. I miss you. I'm your teacher. Our students love us. Our students are our family. And they want to see you. And they want to hear about your family and how hard you're working to homeschool your kids. If there's anybody who lost their job or had their salaries reduced, and they want to hear about any new program you're thinking of offering. They care about that stuff. So how are we going to structure our payment? We want to think about having live membership classes, charging possibly one price for that, having online or live stream membership programming, on demand membership or programming. That might be recorded sessions. So we've got 3 different types of ways we can charge them and we can combine. And we need to think about this. because the world has changed and it is forever changed, and we are not going back. We are always going to be offering something streamlining. So if your pool isn't open and they say we're not opening until January 1st, well, you guys at home, start figuring out, find another pool to teach at, or figure out how to possibly do some type of land class so that you can stay fit and you can keep your students fit. And if you're doing classes that you're offering for free, you can do the PayPal, the Venmo, Square, or Stripe, and you can ask people for contributions for professional services and let them donate what they want to for you. Or you can actually, charge them. And that's something that you want to think about. Now, we're going to begin talking about how we open up our facilities. And again, my lovely friend Ann Gilbert, who for 4 years choreographed our Water in Motion Platinum program, she has a packed, she owns 2 clubs, and she has a packed aquatic schedules. And so she really thought about, how am I going to open up my facility? You can find banners like this very inexpensively. You just go online, Google it, and you will be able to find them. They're not that expensive. And you can even find designs for them that are free and are online. So think about that. Now, when you get them coming back into your door, think about how you're going to greet them. What I love about this slide is, do you see this QR code? That little box with the little 3 boxes inside of it with all the dots? That QR code, I wonder if it'll work on with my phone and my computer. I'm not sure if it does work. If you take your phone over that block and you click on the top, don't swipe, just click on website or QR code, a Gold's Gym app is going to come up, a little website, a code of conduct. Do you see that on there? A code of conduct comes up. You can make your own code of conduct. You can make your own URL links by just Googling free QR code. QR, the letter Q, the letter R, code. And you can make your own links to things. You can make your own link to your website, a link to your Facebook page. All you need is the URL. The URL is the little line on the top that says HTTPS // So think about doing that. And because we're all going to restaurants now, and that's what the way the menu is. You use your phone. I don't care if you have an Android or you have an iPhone. So think about using that, you guys, when they enter. And you can put, this is my pool protocol. And I want you to think of the signage, where they're going to enter, their exit, where the front desk, how are they going to do wipe down stations, bathrooms, toilet paper, hide it, people will steal it. Think about the hand sanitizer station. And these are some of the things it'll look like. Use these wonderful little mats. We have check-in stations here. She's wearing a mask. There's hand sanitizer. You can actually wash your hands. You can see, I don't know if you can see this, there's a whole screen, a wonderful plastic screen he has in front of the check-in desk. And here's extra wipes that they put out for the different equipment. Very interesting. Love this stuff that they've done. And then also, issues will arise. I told you, you're going to be the policeman, the policewoman of your pool area. Family members will want to exercise together. They'll start ripping off the tape. They'll start standing together. They'll take off the mask. Oh, it's my cousin. I haven't seen her in so long. I'm going to hug her and kiss her, lift my mask up. You've got to think about, as a club owner or manager, think about having a contact ambassador. That would be really cool at the club, to greet people, possibly hand people a sheet of paper they could keep about the protocols required. Make sure they do that QR code with their phone so they know the rules and regulations, and plan your environment. Now, here's a few things you can do. You could raise the pool temperature just slightly, but lower the air temperature. And the reason I say lower the air temperature a little bit is it'll be easier to breathe for people. They won't be gasping as much for air. And try to encourage the airflow. Open a window in the pool if you can. Open up a full wall. And if it's a little cooler because the air temperature is cooler, tell them they can wear a wetsuit top, or they can wear any type of nylon shirt. It'll hold the heat in a little bit. Plan your pool entrance. You're going to need a bench, because people may come in with their flip-flops on, their sandals on. They're going to have to remove them. They're going to take off maybe a cover up. They possibly all should bring their own towel. Now there, again, we're not quite sure about that. Washing the towel, folding them up. Supposedly the coronavirus is not spread through touch as much, but people may want to bring their own towel. That's where you can use those command hooks on the wall, and they can actually hang up their towels. I would encourage people to put their name on their towels. I would encourage people, we're going to have pens for labeling masks. So because there are a lot of people are going to come in with this same mask on, all right, and they're going to have to write their name on it. Maybe you need little containers that say clean pens, used pens, and they can put it in, because maybe they're so nervous they don't even want to touch another person where another person is touched. You've got to be cautious and careful, and you've got to space them when they're standing waiting to get into the pool. So thinking about these things are very helpful. So check the flow from your pool, from the first door entry through the bathroom entrance, the locker room, through showers, benches, pool entrance, pool exit, and film this. You do not want like a long 5-minute video. I think that would put everybody to sleep. But you want to do a quick walkthrough. This is how you're going to get everybody. Everybody's going to get in. It's safe. It's clean. We want you to come back. Think about that. And check the tour. Have your staff take the tour. They will find mistakes. They will find things. Ooh, where's the water station? Are they going to want to go to the water station? Connie Warasilla, who is our choreographer for Water in Motion Original, her locker room is not even attached to her pool. She's got to walk through a hallway. So she had to figure that out. And then you might want to think about your locker rooms. Are you closing off certain lockers so they're not right next to each other? They're actually 6 feet apart. So it's every third locker or every other locker. And then film the facilities for the members and do a trial, okay? Call your best instructors, your best students, your loyal students who are confident in you. And possibly they're even socially influential. So they'll post it on Facebook. I went to take class and it was smooth and the system was all set and nobody got sick. And I am just thrilled to be back. Come join me. Exercise is medicine. Exercise is medicine. And post this on social media and share those videos. It's very important. And update your testimonials daily. Like make sure they're short and sweet, 15 to 30 seconds. Try to make it a recognizable and credible person. And you post regularly. They should be authentic. I don't care if it's done vertically or horizontally, whatever way you want to take the film, the video, make it real. Have them say, hi, my name is Sara. I've been a member of the club for 3 years. I love Peter's Aqua class. It was a great class today. We were socially distanced. I wore my mask to the pool and out of the pool, but I didn't wear it while I was in the environment. But did you know that the CDC says that the pool chemicals have 6 times the strength to kill the coronavirus? We need to emphasize that. It's safe and effective. So you need to get to your class early. You need to get there early. You need to set up your chairs and your stools and your benches. And if you use a mat, some of us use a mat, non-skid mat, or some of us use a mat so that when I sit on the pool edge, I'm not wrecking my bathing suit and scraping it on the cement. Check your sound system, check your microphone, have your own windscreen. Make sure you have your shield on. Make sure you have your mask on when you're welcoming everybody. Only take your mask off when you're ready to teach. Focus on your students. You want everything preset. So when you get to the class, you're prepared to connect and assist them. All right. You've got to be the confident one. Okay. You've got to be patient and confident and encourage these people. They're going to set up like a grocery store, 6 feet apart, one at a time getting into the pool. They're going to pick up their equipment and then they're going to dunk their equipment in the water. They're going to sterilize it in the water. It's safe and effective. And if your club says, no, you cannot use the noodles, you can't use the Aqua dumbbells, I don't want you using the gloves. You know what you say? You say, fine, I get it, not a problem. You comply. You smile and comply. They will come around. But make sure these people walk to their designated areas. This is going to be confusing as well, because think about the different depths. You know, I'm taller. I got to get more to the deep end. And Gilbert's a little bit shorter. She wants to go in the shallow end. You know, Connie goes wherever she wants. All right. So we've got to be cognizant of where these people, they may get in the pool first, but they don't want to walk all the way to the end. They got to walk over to the side. So just be present, be careful. Maybe limit people to getting into certain lap lanes. Ask people to readjust. Social distancing, be kind to them. And again, a confident instructor breeds compliant students. You are the leader. It's your class. You own it. Help them to get into position. Now, Ann Gilbert, with her wonderful pools, set up this wonderful system. Now, you can see these are little stickers. This is the Shapes logo. That's their logo. So she made these stickers. Again, just you can go online to get them made. You can go to a copy shop. You can make your stickers just some regular sticky stuff, and they won't damage anything. And what she did is if someone is standing in her pool right here, okay, you can see my mouse moving, someone's standing in the pool, they're looking at that, that's eye level. So she measured these 6 feet apart, both on the side and then also in the front. Isn't that great? So that people knew where to stand. It's like an Excel chart. They could say, all right, I'm in line here, and then I'm in line on the side. And it's a wonderful system, and that's a great way to do it. And if you don't have stickers, just put little cones, workout cones, put towels, put chairs, you know, if you can pull them from other parts of the gym, do whatever you have to do to get them, put noodles on the side of the pool so they know exactly how far apart to be. And think about, this is a little bit strange, but streaming your Aqua classes. Look, virtual hit Aqua aerobics, Judy's Aqua aerobics, and people are streaming their classes. It's something to think about because some people have pools at home, but they want to take an Aqua class with you. And we have SCW has a lights, camera, action virtual training certification. We just did it this September. We're doing it again pre-conference actually post-conference, November 8th. We're doing it in about 6 weeks, November 8th. And that's live streaming, but you can go on and you can purchase the online version of this certification. It takes you through everything. It takes you through your camera. It takes you through your microphone, how to do it, the whole setup, and teaches you how to do it. And you get a video that you can watch over and over again that trains you on how to do it. And then SCW set up a trainwiththetrainers.com site where you can offer your classes. So you don't have to figure out, you still have to figure out Zoom, but you don't have to post it yourself. You don't have to figure out how you're going to charge it. You don't have to figure out your own marketing. We do all that for you. We help you with all that. Take a peek at that. Think about doing that. I still think aquatics is something to do. And I want you to think about the live and the online. I want you to think about the new normal. Change is good, you guys. From the last pandemic, we got longer lifespans. The medicine was improved. We got paved streets. We got improved plumbing. We got greater transportation and trade. And the government was controlling more food prices, but actually allowed women more rights. Women now could wear expensive clothing. I know 1850s is a little crazy, but you can think about the social change that has come about now. Black Lives Matter, the social change. We're getting a lot of change that's coming on, and one of the biggest is technology. So you guys, we need to catch up as aquatics instructors, and there's a lot of digital solutions out there where you build your own site. I want you to take a look at all of these. They're very, very cool. One of them I love, scribble this name down, I apologize, I don't have it on the list here. It's called Jim Catch, C-A-T-C-H, jimcatch.com. And they do a great system, and they're very inexpensive. Very, very inexpensive, like $20 a month. You still have to do a lot of your own technology, but if you're thinking about starting your own site, this is something that I think you might want to consider. Well, that is it, you guys. We made it through the entire PowerPoint. Like I said, this is completely recorded, so we have all this stuff. I see a lot of stuff in the chat box. People are asking about, we start Aqua classes on Monday. I'm concerned about how to teach with my mask on. Oh my goodness, overheating, stuff like that. I do not recommend your students ever wear masks in the pool. They should not wear masks in the pool, because if they get wet, they're never going to be able to breathe through it. Okay, we don't want people dying. It gets a little sticky. Okay, so what we want to do is you want to make sure that as the teacher, you can wear your mask, but that's where I want you to get the screens. Those face shields, face shield. They're on Amazon. They're about $4.50 each. They're not expensive. And if you can then, when you teach, take your mask off, but wear the shield so that your breath is impaired from going out. It's going to go straight down, and you can't spit into the pool. So that's what I would recommend you wear. The cute masks, like the one I showed you, like Strong as a Mother, how cute those were. Peter put that in the chat box. That was kind of cool. Is it safe now to teach on land, Aqua, like the Aqua workout class? It's up to the government. The government is setting regulations, and you guys, we need to talk to our club owners and managers and our Group X directors and our Aqua managers and find out what their requirements are. So that's something that's important. The slides will be available. They will be available. There's a PDF. Peter already put it in the chat box, because that's just how good he is. Peter Shannon is one of our product and registration managers. So that's very cool. Do salt pools have enough chlorine? No, because there's salt. So it's different. Salt pools do not have a chemical that will sanitize Aqua equipment. So I'm sorry about that. I wish I had a different answer, but that's the answer. But bromine and chlorine, if they're kept at a safe level, they will work. We are out of time, guys. I tried to get to as many questions as I could. I'm looking here. And Peter put the PowerPoint in, but please know that the PowerPoint and that wonderful full article will be accessible on the recording. And you can feel free to forward the PowerPoint, forward the article to your club owners and managers. I want to thank you all for joining us. Please check out our Water in Motion page, WATERinMOTION.com. We'd love to see you there. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.